It's that status quo.
No games, no limitations.
The following is an undergroundcolumbus.com production.
Hey there!
Come and let's play together in the bright sunny weather.
Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island.
Gullah Gullah!
Gullah Gullah!
Lots to see and to do there. All we need now is you there.
Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island.
Gullah Gullah!
Billa, billa.
Just take your foot in your hand. That means hurry up.
Don't miss the good things that we planned. So come and let's play together in the bright sunny weather. Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island. Gullah Gullah Island. Gullah Gullah Island.
Live in the dungeon, it is the kid that do it big, Q Love. How are y'all doing? How are y'all feeling today, man? This is an important day because it's like 70 degrees outside. I'm burning time right now, and I'm just ready to go out there and get a drink. Your boy ain't have a drink in a long time, and I promise you, I'm going to have me a nice brew today after when I get up out of here. This studio is well needed. I'm not even going to call nobody because you can't rely on people. Some people want to be all like, hey, yeah, man, I'm going to meet you up there. And you actually get to waiting on them, and then nothing never really comes up from it, and then all of a sudden you kind of stuck. It sucks, man, but that's how people are. Man, but there's something about this weather in particular, that makes me feel absolutely great to be alive, but I can't, man. Oof, sorry. Had to get myself out of my element just to get back in. It's focus time, baby. This is the WTSS Podcast, brought to you in part by the good people from WOCB, Underground Columbus, or WDG, Underground Columbus. And man, last time I did a podcast, I was kind of upset. I was kind of angry, but it's okay though, because this actually evens everything out. To those who do not know, the springtime is my very favorite time of year. Like, better than summer, better than fall. I was born in the fall, but there's something that can't be beat about springtime. It's the stuff growing in. It's the lushness coming into everything. The birds is like, hey, man, we going to go out here and chirp because we ain't really too mad at them anymore. We're going to come back up north and everything like that. Flowers grow in, and it's slowly starting to become that. This weather is perfect. And will make everything perfect will be if everything was growing already, like the tulips and the flowers and the colors. It's all vivid, yo. I love vividness, It's very good. It's very good on the eyes. It's the reason why I was playing Gullah Gullah Island at the beginning of this show. If everybody remembers Gullah Gullah Island, it was a kid show about a family that was from Gullah Gullah Island. They had a little yellow frog named Binya Binya, who I'm assuming was probably going to be poisonous. Fact remains is this, that it was a great 90s show. And I know you hear a lot of people talk about nostalgia and how things used to be and this, that, and the other. But you know what? I'm going to try not to tell y'all how great the 90s was. How great the 90s was is great. Like, honestly, I want to tell y'all, it was a great time to be alive, a great time to be a kid, despite all the goofiness that was going on. There was a lot of riots, a lot of fights, a lot of nonsense that was happening, but it was a great time to be alive. Definitely was, yo. You had a lot of different stuff to be around. And while I'm not going to be one of those people to be like, back in my day, things are so a bit different and how things should be, I'm also going to tell you that, man, things were so simpler. Things was better back then. You know what? This was a little column A, a little column B. I don't want to do that, but I feel as if I'm going to do that, man. Like, the amount of people that don't know the amount of stuff that was just available to you, and that it was easy. Like, it was just easy to engross yourself in the imagination, yo. I really have to tell y'all, I am born in the 80s. grew up in the 90s. I am a kid at heart, and I'm probably always going to be. And I think that's how a lot of my people in my generation are going to be. They're going to be kids at heart, no matter what. Those people pushing 30-something years old, my age, still feel as if they're 21 still, like they still got it. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know. Regardless of which, I need to tell y'all, man, like, shows like Gullah Gullah Island and Cousin Skeeter and SWAT Cats. Like, I'm not even going to the shows that everybody knows. Everybody knows Hey Arnold. Everybody knows Doug. Everybody knows Rugrats. But there's so many shows. There's so much quality. Just right there for you as a kid, yo. It's almost like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and Fox were like drug dealers and be like, hey, we got what you need. Here you go. You don't like this? We got a little something right here that you can sample, yo. They knew what they was doing. Power Rangers. Jeez, yo, the list goes on and on and on, man. I'm even, right now, this moment in time, if y'all remember those shirts that, it was like the Taz and Bugs, they was dressed like crisscross. Man, I found one of those shirts in Macy's last year, and best believe I am rocking that shirt today to celebrate this nice, beautiful weather. If you are at work right now listening to this, or you should listen because it's going to be out later than what it should be. If you are at work and you are missing this weather, I'm telling you right now, I feel sorry for you. You should have called off. Because, damn it, you can't miss the first damn spring and summertime feeling. I don't even know what to call it, yo. So, the hell with you. Regardless of which, we talking about 90s and the great things that's happened in the 90s. Because, you know, a lot of things get a bad rap back in the day. And it was a learning experience for, especially being the kid growing up then. I can't speak for the adults, people who are like 40, 50 something now. But growing up then, it was a weird time. It was definitely a weird time. I remember when the OJ trial had happened, they had sent us all down into the auditorium, and they was like, okay, y'all need to watch this because this is really relevant. And what was weird about the whole situation was that didn't nobody know who OJ was. Back then, I mean, you had to be a certain age to know who the Juice was or whatever. He was just some nigga driving around in a Bronco when I was a kid. So I mean, I was geeked because they pulled us out of class and was all like, all right, go sit here and watch this. And they had the little danger cart jump off, the little TV set. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Little TV set with the VCR gimmick, and they would just sit there and have us watch it. And really, it was taken away from math for me. I hated math class, yo. But I'm sitting there watching this crap. I'm like, yo, so what's so relevant about this? And I remember when the verdict finally happened, they took us out of class for that too. It was like a big deal. I'm from a small town, yo. I'm from a small town a little bit outside of Columbus, about a half hour outside of Columbus. So the fact that they pulled us out there in that small town, it's telling you something, yo. The 90s was such a different time. I don't think that they're able to do stuff like that anymore because I don't think they had the sympathy. You know, I mean, we really didn't either, but I don't think they had sympathy for kids wanting to learn more about what was going on in front of them. And I guess I can get it because, I mean, we knew everything. The Monica Lewinsky trial situation. You know, I think we knew a little bit about Madonna cussing out Jay Leno. We knew a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff that, like, and this is before the internet. So you have to rely on people actually telling you and actually sharing things with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just was a different time. Man, yo, and I miss it. I'm not even going to sit here and say that I don't. It's not even because I miss being a kid. It was just so fun. It was free. It was a very free time. And I understand now why, like, my parents and, like, my aunts and uncles would tell me how much they miss the 70s because how free it was or whatever. We sitting there, I'm like, hearing people say, I'm like, nigga, you bullshitting. Well, a bunch of dirty-ass hippies running around there, smoking weed, doing whatever they do, and da-da-da-da-da. And here I am now having my hippie moment. Only with, instead of smoking weed and tie-dyes and Lollapalooza, I'm talking about Gullah Gullah Island and, talking about Gullah Gullah Island and SWAT Cats and all that other stuff. Yo, the shows like that, yo, like Mummies Alive. That used to be my show, yo. That there's one show that, looking back at it now, wasn't good. It was what is the name of that thing? Pirates of the Dark Water or some crap like that. It was a little kid that had a sword. And the sword wasn't even a kid. He was a young dude. He had a sword. It was like a half sword. It was a little pussy ass half sword or whatever. And he had this big dude and he had a chick with him. And like, I think he'd have to find some treasure or had something to do with that sword maybe. I don't know. And I remember that show because my brother used to run around. He used to love that show, man. Like, and he used to run around with this half sword. Like, we used to have these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle outfits or whatever. Yeah, we had those shits before these kids have them now. But this little nigga broke his sword, yo. He broke his katana and made it his half sword from the Legend of the Dark Water. I wish I remember the guy's name or whatever in that show. But you know, like the Pirates of the Dark Water, yo. And I was so mad because I wanted to be Leonardo. And they gave me like Donatello because Donatello was the smart one. And, you know, not saying that my brother's an idiot, but my brother's an idiot. You know what I mean? So I was salty, yo. Like, you don't get this little nigga, like, this nonsense or whatever, and all of a sudden, here I am sticking with this stupid-ass bow staff, and he broke the sword and everything like that. Like, I was legit mad at him, like, for a little bit, like 2 weeks. But it was like, that's a long time in kids' time, you know? Regardless of which, shows like that, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know, bringing that up. Two Stupid Dogs was a funny show that me and my sister would get into. And my mom didn't like some of those cartoons, yo. She didn't like Two Stupid Dogs. She hated Ren and Stimpy, what mom didn't. And I think she tried to ban us from watching Beavis and Butthead, but we didn't really like Beavis and Butthead to begin with. So it was kind of like, all right, well, boom. Like, the times are totally different, yo. We weren't even allowed to watch, well, not we, but kids back in the day weren't even allowed to watch Simpsons. That's real. That's how bad it was. Like, if you look at it now, the parents probably would sit there and flip a brick listening to stuff like South Park and Gumball and all these other shows that be doing these adult jokes and everything like that. They be trying to pull away with them, yo. It was like OG shows was like Simpsons and all the other joint, yo. I remember there was this kid. We had the Simpsons arcade game at the Penny Arcade, or at the Penny Arcades, or the small little movie theater we had. Little broke ones. The ones where they used to put the movies that was like mad old, but they still was pretty new and people liked them. So they had the Simpsons arcade in that one. And the kid was so scared playing it because he thought his mom was going to come in and whoop his ass or whatever because he's playing Simpsons. He's like, I'm not allowed to watch it, yo. Why do I remember all this stuff? I wonder if that movie theater is still open. I gotta think that out. It's probably not. Like, things like that, yo. Like, just thinking back at that time, it was just such a simpler and beautiful time. And looking at everything now, man, it just doesn't have the same effect. Doesn't have the same boom about it, yo. I gotta tell you, man. Like, I think I had Prince Adonis on here a couple weeks ago, and we was kind of scratched the surface a bit about the 90s stuff and about how things were and just how good it was and all this other stuff. And I don't think people really understand how much I can sit there and how much I sit there and just talk about it all the time, yo. Like, I'm stuck in the past. Like, I'm perpetually 90s, listening to a 90s set on the way to here to school. You know, I got too much 90s nostalgia. Drop my wallet. You have to excuse me. Too much 90s nostalgia, yo. On my person, between T-shirts, video games, emulators, freaking all this other stuff, yo. Like, and it's funny because it's knowledge I try to pass on to other people. I try to pass it on to my son. He's actually kind of up for it, but it's a work in progress, man. Like, it really is. And it's all because of this weather. I'm sorry, yo. Like, you don't understand. I'm sitting there looking at the window right now, and it's just like, man, here we are. This is it. I can't believe it, man. Goodness. It's like you get stuff that happens. Certain sights, certain smells, certain things. Hell, certain feelings, yo. Like, they get you nostalgic like that, and they bring you back to a simpler, better time. It's what we all need sometimes. Is to have something sitting there and just let yourself be free and let yourself be wild and all the other good stuff. You know, just like To put it simply, I don't even know how I would react. Like, if I could bring 8-year-old Quincy back today and, like, you know, be like, all right, well, go ahead and have fun. Knock yourself out, man. You got free internet, all the porn you can look at. You know, our games look better. The girls are filling out a little bit more. He'll probably look at me, adult Quincy, be like, I don't care about all that stuff. Send me back to where I was at. You know what I mean? Like, this is whack to me. It's just too much of a culture shock, yo. I wonder what I would be like. I wonder what it'd be like if I met myself now, like, as a kid. Like, if I went back in time. Like, I would totally do that. Like, there was an episode of South Park where they did that, where they faking, like, there's people coming back, pretending to be the kids or whatever, just to try and keep them on a straight and narrow path. I wonder if I were to do that, like, how would I grow up? Because I was such a nervous freaking kid, yo. Hated everything. Scared of everything. And so, like, if I could come back in time, be like, hey, you, little nigga, Quincy, you gonna be all right. I wonder what happened. I'll probably be freaked out. I'll be spooked. I'll probably do everything else, like, completely different. Like, what? This weirdo started coming up talking to me. He looks like me, kind of, sort of, with hair. And I was just, like, completely doing 180, yo. It's that, man, speaking of nostalgic, yo, it's actually kind of funny I'm bringing this up for this episode. I'm going to a skating party back in my hometown this weekend, actually. Hopefully. That's the plan. And I am completely 100% nervous because, like I told you, I was a nerdy kid. Hell, I watched all these shows. Those was my life that I was just telling you about. That was me. That's what I did. So I haven't really been back since I was like 13, 14, really. I haven't been back in a long period of time. I lied. Actually, I was like maybe 18 for somebody's birthday party, and I got insanely drunk. And I don't remember much else. Don't arrest me, because, you know, drinking underage is bad, and you shouldn't do it. But it was just, you know, I haven't really been back there for an extended period of time. Apparently, there's going to be a lot of people there that nobody's seen. And it's really like high school reunion, only it's not high school reunion. We're all going to be skating. And I didn't go to my high school reunion, so it doesn't count because, fuck, you know, I don't know. It didn't go well. But basically, it's essentially like my reunion for some of these people. A lot of people I haven't seen. I've only seen just through Facebook, which is a blessing because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to see what half of these people look like. I'm well aware that maybe some of my crushes probably ain't my crushes anymore. They're probably married, like 5 kids or some joint like that. Doesn't matter, yo. I'm fully prepared for everything. I wonder. There's this girl who used to work at the skating rink when I was a kid. And man, yo, it was like one of my first like real life. Okay, y'all, I really want to. It's not even like the fact that I think about her, but you know, there comes a point in time in every boy's life where they know they just want to pop something. Like, yo, I don't really want anything else with her. I just want to see her naked or something like that. And this girl was first girl I did that with was at the skating rink. I think she worked there. She was older than me, but she wasn't like older than me. You know what I'm saying? And she had a body out this world, like, you know. Like crazy, like craziness, yo. Like, and she had like this hair, and man, y'all fell in love with her. I remember I was trying to impress her because I was a little skating king. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it ain't like ATL, but I'm knowing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So, pretty much, it was just like I was trying to impress her. Like, boom, like hitting my jig and everything. Like, boom, yo, boom, I'm Quincy, boom. Like, you know what I mean? And next thing I know, I fell. Like I fell, yo. It was so embarrassing, yo. She laughed, yo. She saw me, you know what I mean? But she's jocking me, though. That's all I know. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder what happened to her. If I see her when I go up there, I'm probably not, because, mind you, I was pushing 20 years ago. But if I see her, maybe like 15. It was a long time ago. If I see her still, I don't know how I'm going to react. I'm going to react positively if she still looks the same way that she did. I'm going to react negatively if she looks the same way that she did. You know what I mean? Like, damn, shorty, like, yo, you still look exactly the same. Don't be worried, yo. She's probably an alien. You know what I mean? Or like a Krypton or a Skrull or some junk like that. It's possible. It's plausible. Man, yo, but regardless of which, I'm really nervous. The nostalgia is kicking in, and I hope it doesn't wear off when I get up there. The damn skating rink doesn't have it, an open bar, so that probably means I'm going to have to buy something, but I don't want to drink it in the car because it's a small town, and small towns and people from not small towns, regardless if you was born there or not, don't mix. So I might just kind of keep it chill that day. I am not for sure. I am prepared for anything that might happen, baby, because, hey, that's what you just got to do sometimes, you know what I mean? So, that's nostalgia for you. Nostalgia is just a really interesting thing, man. I ain't going to talk y'all heads up, yo. This, of course, another TSS podcast for y'all listening pleasure. Next week, I'll bring some more stuff for you. I'm actually trying to think what I could be saying for next week. I don't really know yet, but hopefully, I think I'm going to try and bring somebody on, and we're going to talk about whatever. But regardless of which, thank you for lending me your ear. Thank you for giving me your attention. And right now, we're leaving the dungeon. This is Kid Q Love, the king of the nerds, the prince of nostalgia. That doesn't even form well. The king of the nerds does. The Negro of nostalgia. Let's use that. The Negro of nostalgia. And this is me signing out. I will talk to y'all later.